What's going on, everybody? Your boy Kelvin here, back again, taking a look at these here Toronto Raptors. As you can see, first guy on the team, Leandro Barbosa. They gave him the highest rating. Doesn't even make sense. He's coming off the bench behind DeRozan, so DeRozan should have the highest rating. But he doesn't, I don't like DeMar DeRozan, personally. This guy could have won the slam dunk competition in 2 attempts. He's shit. He's never going to be like Vince Carter. Vince Carter only needed 1 attempt, and he put on the greatest slam dunk performance of all time. There you see Jose Calderon. The number 1 guy I hate, Bargnani. Can't stand him either. Amir Johnson, I kind of like him. Ed Davis, he's a bum. He went to North Carolina, one of the most prestigious schools of all time, and he couldn't even bring them to the NCAA tournament. They were in the NIT. He's shit. He's garbage. Who's next? Gary Forbes. I don't even know this guy. They gave him a decent rating. He ain't even playing. He's not even starting, man. This guy's shit. Jared Bayless, he's a poor man's Derrick Rose. That's all I can say about him. I used to like him when he was on the Blazers. Not a fan of him in Toronto. James Johnson, same story. I liked him on the Bulls. Not really a fan in Toronto. Lennox Kleza, he's pretty garbage. He's pretty garbage, I'm not gonna lie. Rasul Butler, one of the newly signed Raptors, along with Gary Forbes, Aaron Gray, and the Canadian Jamal McLaurin, and Anthony Carter too. I forgot about Anthony Carter. Now, as you can see, most of the guys that they recently signed are at the bottom of the team, other than Gary Forbes. So there you see Rasul Butler, Anthony Carter, and Jamal McLaurin, pretty much, and Aaron Gray, pretty much the worst players on the team. And this is who the Raptors signed. So let's get into this game real quick. Let's get in the game real quick, I said.
Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Monday Hoops coming up. It'll be the Los Angeles Clippers facing off against the Toronto Raptors. And that'll do it from the studio. Let's get you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports broadcast crew at the arena. I'll see you back here at halftime.
Let's get it. Oh, spin move. Jose Calderon versus Chris Paul, CP3, and Blake Griffin. What's Blake Griffin's nickname? I don't know. But anyways, just going up here against the Los Angeles Clippers, aka Lob City Clips. So, as you can see, using Toronto Raptors, and I can't stand them. They are crap. They are completely crap. That is why I call them the Toronto Raptors, and they're pretty bad. This right here is BlindSwagger's team. He's from Toronto too. So pretty much every time the Raptors lose in real life, I gotta let that man know they lost again. And I think they won last night. Yeah, the record right now is 4-5, I believe. And yeah, it's like 4-5, which really, you might say, hey, that's not too bad. They're doing pretty good. 4-5. They're almost at 500. Well, 2 of their wins were against the Cavaliers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are pretty shit. They're like the worst team in the league right now, I think. The Cavs are shit. I know they got the Canadian boy Tristan Thompson. They got Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie Irving played like complete shit in both the games against Toronto. I think he went like 6 of 26 shooting combined in the 2 games. So clearly they were playing like shit. Am I wrong or am I right? I think I'm right. So those 2 games, I'm not even counting those really. And then they beat the Knicks by 5 points, and the Knicks were playing like shit that whole game. It's not even like the Raptors played good. It's mostly just the Knicks played like shit. The Knicks then went on to lose to the Bobcats their next game. So clearly the Knicks just didn't have things together around that time. And yesterday they beat the T-Wolves, and going into the game they both had the same record, 3-5. So the T-Wolves are now 3-6. Raptors are 4-5. And the T-Wolves, they're a pretty solid team. Their record is a little bit fooling. They face some pretty good teams. I'm pretty sure they faced the Heat, and that was a close game. They went down to the wire with the Heat, and they just lost it in the end, But that was definitely a good game, and they could have won that. The Raptors, on the other hand, they've been facing pretty shit teams and they faced Orlando. I'm not even really considering Orlando one of the top teams. They're having issues. They were up against Orlando by like 12 at the end of the third quarter and managed to lose. That is typical Raptor basketball at its finest. That's just how the Raptors play it. They usually will be up by like 10 going into the fourth quarter, and they can still lose. It happens all the time. And yeah, I was just trolling BlindSwagger on Twitter that day. I was like, yo, what's going on? Your Raptors lost again. They lost again. I was like, you mad, bro? You mad, bro? He's like, yo, of course I'm mad. The refs, they're blind, blah, 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 giving excuses, this, that, and the third. And do you see how they called that a blocking foul? Are you kidding me? That was a superstar call. So yeah, Raptors, they're garbage. I know people are gonna say, yo, you're from Toronto, don't you gotta support your hometown team? Listen. If your hometown team is shit, you do not have to support them. Unless you're living in a place where that is like the only team. Like, I know in like Sacramento, the Kings are horrible, but people still support them. That's because that's like the only sports franchise around. I know there's some other ones close by, but there's none like right there. Like in Toronto, we have the Maple Leafs, also a shit team. We have the Toronto Raptors, a shit team. The Blue Jays are the best team we have, you know, Jose Bautista. And we even have a soccer team, but let's be honest, who cares about soccer? MLS, that shit's boring. No one watches that shit. So pretty much all of our sports teams suck. So why should I support any of those shit teams? If you live in like Boston, you're like, oh yeah, you should support your hometown team. I really don't care, because Boston has won a title in pretty much every sport in the last 10 years. The Bruins won, the Patriots won, and the Celtics won. So they're all winning teams, you know. The Lakers are a good team. The Kings, I'm not too sure about. I'm talking about Los Angeles Kings. And the Dodgers are a solid team. You know, same thing with New York. The Yankees are good. The Knicks are, man, they're getting better. And hockey teams, Islanders, I don't know. I don't really watch hockey. I'm not into that shit. But the Giants are good. Yeah, the Giants are good. So, you know, the Toronto teams are pretty shit. So I don't support them. I can't support them. So if you're saying, you know, you should support your hometown team, if your hometown team is not giving you something to support year in and year out, then I can't support them. You know, the Raptors, they just make horrible decisions every year. Like I said, look at the people they brought in to play this year. Jamal McGlure is a has-been at this point in his career. His career is pretty much over, right? They got Rasul Butler. Rasul Butler, come on, who the hell is Rasul Butler? They got, who's the other guy? Aaron Gray. So they just signed a bunch of bums. Anthony Carter, man, come on. They signed a bunch of bums, a bunch of scrubs. And I can't get down with that, you know. DeRozan, as you see me pull that shit jumper right there, he's getting better, he's improving. But they're not properly building around him. They need a new point guard, in my opinion. I've been saying this. I know people are gonna say, Jose Calderon, he's playing good. Yeah, he's playing good right now. Maybe. I don't think he's playing that good. But, you know, I think they could get a better point guard. Definitely. If they traded Jose Calderon, I think that would be the first step to me jumping onto the bandwagon, I guess you could say. But really, I don't really want to jump on that bandwagon. Ever since they traded Vince Carter, one of the greatest players of all time in Raptors history, one of the all-time greats. I think he might be, in the Hall of Fame at the end, because he was pretty damn good. He could score, he could block, I mean, he could play defense, and his athleticism just amazing. We all know about the dunk contest, so I think he can make the Hall of Fame. And there will never be another Raptor that good. Nobody wants to play for Toronto. Look at Chris Bosh. He left because they weren't supporting him. He knew what it was. He knew they were not going to support him. He knew the Raptors organization was doing nothing for him, and that's just the cold-hearted facts at the end of the day. The management is horrible, so I'm not going to support them. Maybe come the year 2015, I'll support them, as I just abused them to go to the rack for that dunk. But by the year 2015, I might support him, but maybe the world will be over by then, so I won't have to. Nah, I'm just playing. The world won't be over by then. But this is your boy Kelvin. This game is wrapping up. And, you know, I was just playing around. I threw numerous lobs in this. I think I throw a lob right now. I thought DeRozan was going to go to the rim, but he did not. This asshole just stopped at the three-point line. So that's the end of that. Hope you enjoyed this. The Toronto Raptors suck. Go check out BlindSwagger, Toronto guy. He puts up 2K videos. They pretty good. He's not as good at me at 2K, but, you know, he's doing his thing. So it's your boy Kelvin, and I'm out. Deuces.
Raptors lead by 4.
And they've done a nice job here offensively to establish a rhythm and a pace to this game.
And I like that they're finding ways to score, playing well here, Steve. More great action when we return.